morning. It's Tuesday, December 19th, and I'm back in New Jersey. I want to start it off today. First off, we will go over FedEx earnings. I'll go over a couple of things that places where I think you can make money. SMCI is up. It's going to fill that gap. NVDA is back down below 500. Amazon, I think, has a pass to 170. We'll go over all of that, but I want to start out with TQQQ. This is the triple levered Qs. This is triple levered NASDAQ 100 based on the Qs. You don't want to hold this one. You want to trade it. Now, I say you don't want to hold it, but holding it has been a decent strategy. But these notes here, lost confirmation. I was nervous about a gap fill down below. We're taking the profit, even if it doesn't regain as well. I put these notes in when I got out of the stock here. Now, it did get you out with a 25% gain here. It got you back in at 45.89. And that was, let's see, on December 11th. You can see right here on the MACD, when I said the MACD's falling, it immediately turned around when I sold. So I didn't get back in. I wasn't focused. I should have been focused. I've been more focused on making sure the end of the year stuff happens, but it's kind of a lesson for me. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. I did get out, and I got out at the right time because it did pull back a little bit, but I should have gotten right back in. The algorithm right here on December 11th should have gotten me back in. This is the 4-hour algorithm, and it's part of TRENDSPIDER, and if you want to get TRENDSPIDER, you go to Linktree. The link is down below, linktr.ee/daily stock pick. It's this top link right here. You just click on it. And then if you want to order, you can go to plans and pricing. Right now, there's a sale going on this. It is $397 for 1 year. You skip the 7-day trial because if you go for the 7-day trial, it goes up to $780. But if you've listened to me long enough, you know TRENDSPIDER is just a solid charting platform, and I give you my 4-hour algorithm. How do you get that? You basically just go over to the Linktree, you sign up, you click on that TRENDSPIDER one, and then this right here, the link. You email me, dailystockpick3@gmail.com. You email me, and I send you back a welcome letter that includes all of the links for TRENDSPIDER. This sale is only going on for one more day. This is the time of the year where you get your sale on TRENDSPIDER, and you get it for a year. If you don't, and you wait till January, this yearly price doesn't even come with a 7-day free trial. That's $780. So I think if you listen to me for long enough, you understand the value, and your portfolio is large enough, understand you do have to trade or actually invest a large amount to justify a $400 charge. But I make that on one trade. It saves me from, times when I get out. Say, for instance, TQQQ just went down and went back down to 30 in a couple of days, and this had turned over, and I had just gotten out. TRENDSPIDER saved me. So it's not just about making money, it's about saving money, because as we do run, we're getting to all-time highs. That's where you kind of get a little bit nervous about stuff. I've sold out of stuff. I haven't seen this additional rally continue. So I've been wrong, but I haven't traded. Again, I've been focused on a lot of other stuff about just year-end taxes and stuff like that. What do we have tonight? We have FedEx earnings. FedEx earnings, if you go over here to Savvy Trader, I do have the core portfolio on Savvy Trader. I do use this layout. Earnings Whisper is another website you can use, but I like Savvy Trader's layout a little bit better because they kind of lay it out where previous year FedEx made $3.18. Expected this quarter is $4.19. Previous year revenues $222 billion. Expected $22 billion as well. It's a little bit down. But I charted this out in the paid newsletter. I think there's an opportunity here, and I looked at it mainly on the weekly. Now, here's the problem that you have, and the risk is Amazon is doing their own shipping more and more, and FedEx and UPS are threatened by it. If Amazon even announces some type of consumer or business with shipping, then FedEx and UPS are going to be they're going to drop. You are 13% from your all-time highs. If this rebound continues, and make no mistake about it, this is the rebound of the new CEO who took over And he's doing really, really well. They're doing some really good things. This was a corporation that had a lot of gains to make. The notes from Seeking Alpha: stock will garner some tension with the parcel delivery giant on top to announce full quarter 2 2024 results after the closing bell. Financial quarter 2. Wall Street expects FDS to earn $4.20. The latter metric seems to be falling 1.7% year over year. FedEx, which is seen as a global economic bellwether, had faced pressure due to demand weakness and macroeconomic uncertainties. Investors will be looking out for the firm's quarterly package volume as it steps into an important holiday season. Listen, if you're ordering gifts and they're coming FedEx from your favorite retailer, that's your sign. If they're not coming FedEx from your dealer and you haven't received a FedEx package, or your firm doesn't send FedEx package, it's a sign. I don't like to trade FedEx from a standpoint of, okay, I'm going to expect the earnings to be really, really good because shipping just hasn't been great, and costs have gone up. So that's one that is coming today. The one that I really like from an earnings perspective is tomorrow, and I think it's Nike. I just think from a weekly perspective, I think you could trade Nike. We're just getting to this 200-day. It's providing some resistance. The issue is, if you did get in on the bottom here, and the algorithm had you in, and I said, get this under 100, you're up 35% right now. 35% in just 2 months on a Dow stock. That is enormous. That is make no mistake, this is part of the Dow being at all-time highs, is that Nike has come back, and it's come back with a vengeance. The RSI on a weekly, it's at 64. You're a little bit overbought. The MACD's right at the oscillator. But I think they continue to impress. And Nike is one that I think could go up. And here's the way I like to trade earnings. I like to trade earnings in stocks where I'm not 100% going to get wiped out. So a company that's not making money, a company that has no forward plan, a company that has crappy management and is announcing crappy earnings, that's a company I don't want to play earnings on. A company that's rebounding, a company that's doing things right, a company that's a leader in their sector, that's a company that I don't mind. Their PE is expensive. The PE is 37. The forward PE is 27. They have to continue to grow. Year to date, they are up 3%. Their 52-week range is between 88 and 131. You're 38% above your 52-week low. You're 7% below your 52-week high. Do I expect it to get up to that 52-week high? Probably not. I don't think their earnings are that good. But if they blow it out and they kind of say, hey, this holiday quarter is really going well, and they change their guidance, that's a solid thing. I don't expect you to blow it away on Nike. Nike's not a software name. Nike's not something that's going to come out of the blue and do that. I don't expect that. Could it happen? Maybe. Again, you're just getting above your 200-day on the weekly. If you look at the monthly, you're in the bottom portion of this, and I drew this way before this earnings, but you're in the bottom portion of this upward channel. So I do think if you invest in Nike, I don't think it's a bad play to play it on earnings, because I do think that this one continues higher. So that's just my thought. Let's go over some of the new stuff that I saw. We'll close that down. Dan Ives of Webull put out their top 10 tech list for 2024. He does this every year, and he puts out some really good things. There's some really good investing ideas here. AI goes mainstream. You know, we've talked about AI. Apple introduces AI in the App Store. That's going to be huge. M&A ramps up in tech. He talks about big tech with Microsoft, Amazon, Alphabet, aggressively going after private companies. Tesla introduces a sub $30,000. I think that's a real thing in 2024. Is that Tesla introduces that sub $30,000 vehicle that will be built in Mexico. It's going to be like the Cybertruck. It's going to be years out. So don't expect it to be built in the next year or two. It's probably 5 to 10 years away. Tech stocks are up 25% in 2024. He predicts that. Apple buys ESPN. I do think that that's a real possibility. Cybersecurity, top picks, CrowdStrike, Cyber, PANW, TAENB. Magnificent Seven will lead tech higher. I believe this is the case as well. Musk raises additional capital for X and goes for super app Comset. I think that's a real thing too. Microsoft and Apple will be $4 trillion path by the end of 2024. Those stocks will continue higher. I love those stocks. I like that list that Dan Ives put out. I will include it in the newsletter. Let's talk about SMCI. This one was up big yesterday. It's going for that gap. Like I've talked about this one, I think it's going for that gap up at 350. We talked about it here. No confirmation yet, but I like this one. Leaving the notes from when I bought this a few days ago. I think I put this in the paid newsletter. Then NACD crossed up again. And you had the opportunity to buy this at 260. My plan is if it hits this 346, 348, I've got some decisions to make because the valuation isn't horrible on this stock. You look at SMCI and their forward PE is only 16. Now that's average for the S&P. But you know, they have a $17 billion market cap. They did just dilute shareholders, but the way that they did it, they're putting that money back into the business. So I could expect this to continue to grow. It's down 2% today. If you're going to buy this, I would say buy it under 300. Do I expect it under 300 again? I do. Am I selling? No, I'm holding for long-term capital gains. Another one that traded yesterday, it went over 500. And we talked about this. When it gets up into this territory, it just rejects down. And it's going to come back down to its 200-day of 450. It might come back down to its 21-day and bounce off again at 475. Those are just buying opportunities. I'm in long, and I just continue to add to these names. Amazon has a path to 170. We talked about it yesterday. The stock market trader, he talked about it. Melly is his thing today. We'll go into that. This is to the, you still have 25% to its all-time high, 180, 170. I think you get, when you broke through 150 yesterday, I think you can add this even at 154. I know I've said it before that I think 130 is the swing on this one. I moved it up to 140 after their earnings. I think anything under 140 was a good price on this one. I think anything around 150, solid price on this one for the long term. And let's just say Costco. Costco, here's the thing. This is a $15 dividend that you'll get paid out in January if you hold this stock on December 27th. Let's just go here. What's 15 divided by 681?
It's approximately 0.0220.
That's a 2% dividend with the $15 dividend. That's not bad for holding this stock from right now where it's trading at 680, 676 to December 26th, 27th. Now, remember the way a dividend works is they will pay a $15 special dividend on this day, and then the next day it actually gets taken out of the stock price. I would expect the stock to continue higher. Costco, it is expensive, but I may load up on this for a 2% dividend, special dividend, and then probably either get out close to that day, and wait for the payout, and then buy it back again a little bit lower. Or I just may buy a little bit and then add to it as it starts to go up. I think Costco, I will include in the newsletter their membership model and the rewards and their operating profit margin. The chart's pretty shocking. Let's talk about Cleveland Cliffs, because yesterday there was that deal. Cleveland Cliffs is just continuing up. They raised their prices, they increased sales, and now they don't have to spend money on a purchase. The purchase by the Nippon, which is the Japanese company of U.S. Steel, which is X is the symbol. There's a lot of regulatory hurdles that they have to go up, and there's a lot of senators that are coming out against this. This is right now at $49. Now, here's the thing. Because Nippon agreed to this all cash, I think if it gets turned down, I think Cleveland Cliffs has to come close to that price of $50. So I think buying at $49, I don't think you have a lot of danger, but just realize $55 a share is the price that Nippon is willing to pay. So your upside is limited. I would rather have it go through some regulatory hurdles and some saber rattling and see you buy it under 40, which I do think is the possibility if you want to buy X. But Cleveland Cliffs just continues to go higher. We talked about NVIDIA and SMCI. Snap, they got upgraded. Now here's the thing. I own Snap in my Webull account. If you want to open Webull, it is here at the link tree. It is the third link down here. You'll get some free stocks. I use Webull like my sports betting account. Snap is down 3% today at 1644. I probably will take some profits. You're seeing a bunch of gaps here. Now, this move right here is incredible from $8. If we just look at from $8 to $16, even today, it's a 100% move in 83 days, 83 months, 100% move. That is a little bit extended. And when you go over here and you look at Snap, and I'm using FinViz to look at Snap because everybody has access to FinViz because it's free, you can see they are not making money. So they don't have a P. Price to sales is 6.17, which is really high. Year to date, they're up 90%. Their 52-week range, they're just 4% below their 52-week range at $17.90. Look at that chart. It is overvalued. 100%. Look at the target price is 12. You're trading at 16. The most recent Guggenheim brought them up to 23 in December, same day, December 11th. Wells Fargo brought them up to 22. I just think 16, a little bit high. I probably will sell mine, even though it's down today at 4%. I will probably sell mine. I will buy it back 10, 11 bucks. I think it comes back down that far because it is that expensive. I don't think that Snapchat has grown their user base to be worth $22. Let's see. Etsy. Etsy was way up. So Etsy, the day before, announced some type of like restructuring, and it was way down. You had huge candle period of like 4 or 5%. It was way up yesterday. It is up another 1.95. Etsy is an interesting one. It is still expensive. Understand, this is still an expensive stock, even though it's come down. This is where I bought it. I'm still down, 35%. I may add to this. I do like Etsy. And in fact, my parents just bought a bunch of gifts off of Etsy. The PE is 35. The forward PE is 32. They're laying off a bunch of people, which means they're cutting costs, which means they will have more profit. The 52-week range is between $58 and $149. You're trading at $84 right now. The average price target is $80. So it is still expensive. I'm in this name. I'm in it big. I want a dollar cost average my way up. I do like this name. Just understand it is still expensive. So I do think that it has an opportunity. If we look at it here on the 4-hour, you can see you were in at 65, and I should have been adding at 65. I just didn't trust it. But right now, that's a nice 30% gain. So Etsy, keep an eye on it. I don't think I'd buy it right here, but I do think that it's worth keeping an eye on. Google and Meta were up. We'll talk a little bit about some AI stuff, but Google and Meta right in AI. Netflix got an upgrade yesterday. And this one continues higher. It's down a little bit, but it's almost at $500. I mean, this is at $485. Now, understand when you look at a weekly of Netflix, you've still got 47% to get to the $700 that this is the all-time high. So you just crossed this 200-day. You're about to have a golden cross of the 50-day up on the 200. Is it too late to buy? Probably not. But, for the long term, but the short term, I mean, the PE is just out of control. But if they show that they're able to grow subs with the password crackdown, they're able to grow subs with the ad tier, this is the one streamer that's making money. And I think it could. Remember, you're at your 52-week high is 1% away, 492. That 700 is the all-time high. You're up 64% year to date. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's 64%, not 84. So I like this one here. I've added to it. I haven't added to it here, but I've added to it in the 450 range. Rivian. Remember when this one was expensive? Look. This gap is at 2280. I said it was going to come up here and fill this. Current run in the 4-hour algorithm is up 15%. This was way back on December 7th. I like this to cover the gap if it crosses the 200-day. It crossed the 200-day. It covered the gap. You're at $24. So it covered that gap. I said at some point in time this year, I thought this was going to get up to this $30 range. I think it's got its realm. I don't know if it'll hit by the end of the year, but keep an eye on Rivian. Rivian's an interesting one. Apple is halting watch sales. It's just the 9 and the Ultra 2 that they're halting. This article is interesting because it does bring up Biden can still veto this. Biden can basically veto the news, the ruling from the International Trade Organization, I think it was, but they will not sell it. They have engineers working on it. If they can pull out the blood oxygen level feature from the watches, then they can actually start selling them again. So it's going to stop selling, I think, on Monday, the 21st. No, I'm sorry, Thursday, the 21st. They'll just pull it from their app store. So it will stop selling it. It's about 5% of the total revenue is on watches, but it's not just the 9 and the Ultra 2. It's a big deal because you have to get those watches before Christmas. This might drive a lot of people to actually buy between now and the 21st when they pull it. Just means that they might have increased their sales. I don't know. I don't exactly know what, but I still like Apple stock. They are up 0.11% in pre-market. I still like this. I think we're forming a shelf there. I think that the under 200 is going to look like a deal next year. Melly is one. This guy, the stock market mentor, I like him. I included his Amazon call yesterday. He likes Melly, and he goes over. He creates kind of a good thesis on this one. If you look. This is the channel that I drew here back in probably about, maybe February or so. Somebody asked me to look at it, and I said from a long-term perspective, I do like it to get back there. You can see that 200-day, the 50 days moving. You just had a golden cross here. I do think that you get maybe to the 1900s on this one. Melly is expensive. Understand, and I said this before. I said I'd like to own Amazon over Melly. Melly is the PE is 83, the forward PE is 48. If we go and we look at Amazon, the forward PE on Amazon is 42. The PE on Amazon is 80. I like this one. This one, when I was looking at it against Melly, it was significantly lower, but it is lower. I'd rather have Amazon than Melly. That's just my pick. Do I think that Melly is going back up to the 2000s tomorrow? No. Do I think that Amazon probably is going to 170? Yeah. Let's talk about crypto because Mara, it just crossed 20. It is trading at $20.98. It's gone on another run. And we talked about this way down here about probably 13 or 14 that I thought it was going to 20. Charlie said, I think it's going to 20. Everybody thought it was going to 20. If we look at a weekly chart of this one, you're still looking at a all-time high of $64 on this one. Understand it is expensive. Mara is expensive. They are not making money. Price to sales is 17. Remember when I said the price to sales at 6 was crazy? Price to sales on this one is 17. This is up 481% year to date. Now, what you have to know is there is January 10th. I think that's the date that the SEC needs to make a decision about the GBTC lawsuit, if they can do a spot ETF on Bitcoin. That's the big date that I think is going to come about. GBTC, you're currently in a run as well. If we look at the 4-hour here, it's kind of leveled off at about 34. But if you look at a weekly on GBTC, you can see we're just about to hit the golden cross. I think this one takes off. I think it goes to 48.50, somewhere in that neighborhood. But understand that this goes with Bitcoin. You're going to have to trail this with Bitcoin. Cipher mining, CLFR, I think it is. CIFR. This one, they announced that extended its gain, rising by 11% in early trading on Tuesday following a 17% surge the day before. The boost came as the company agreed to purchase 37,000 Bitcoin miners, representing 7.1 EXA hash second of self-mining capacity from Bitmain. So this one's up big. I mean, look at this one. The algorithm got you in at 255. You're at 368. CIFR. Now, CIFR, understand it's part of the Bitcoin mining. This is a lot of hype. They are losing $88 million. It's up again 480% this year. The target price is $5.21. Let's look at that, because are they recent? They're this year. I mean, it looks like this year. JP Morgan initiated coverage neutral in October. You're trading at 372. This one might be one to look at, even though at 372, you're up 18% today. Now, here's the list. Here's an interesting list. I'm going to close this down. This is a buy-sell idea from Seeking Alpha by Oppenheimer. And I'll let you kind of look at it in the newsletter. I won't go over too many of these names, but it's a buy-sell. And what's interesting is consumer discretionary, they say buy Tesla, sell Trip.com, in consumer staples, buy Albertsons, sell Coke. And this is for 2024. In healthcare, buy Molina, sell Edwards Lifesciences. Financials, buy Apollo, sell Aon. Real estate, buy Iron Mountain, sell UDR. In technology, they say buy Cloudflare and sell Cisco, which I thought was interesting. Consumer services, communication services, buy Live Nation. I agree with Live Nation being a buy, and I agree with AT&T being a sell. I think Live Nation, I think you're going to have some really big concerts next year, and I think that poses well. In utilities, we've gone over Constellation Energy. I think it's a buy. I think it's just been beaten down. If we look at CEG right here in the 4-hour algo, you can see it was a buy at 114. It's now at 120. If you look at let's go to weekly. I don't want a monthly. If you look at weekly, Constellation Energy Corp, it's just been on the rise. So Constellation Energy Corp, I had them for my gas services, I think, at my house, but I'll include that entire list. AI winners in 2024 by category. I think chips, and I'll include this. This is my own personal list. I think in chips, you got NVIDIA, you got AMD, and ironically, I do think you have Intel. And I include Intel in this list because I think Intel, with becoming a foundry and starting to make chips for other chip makers, I think it probably continue this rise. Understand, this is still a rebound story. This is their weekly. This is a stock that traditionally just traded up in the 50s and 60s and then just got lost back in 2021. And you're seeing the 50-day turn. You're just above the 200-day. The 200-day is still moving negative. It's not expensive when it comes to chips. I think Pat Gelsinger is turning it around. You want to be in this name when they start making money. Simple as that. I think Intel is one that you could look at. Software, I think Adobe and CRM are the plays. Cyber, I think PANW and CrowdStrike. Honest to God, I think Fortinet is one that you could play for a rebound. But I think, remember, the part of what you're hearing with cybersecurity stuff is that they have to release within, I think, 30 days, 90 days, that they had an attack. That's now a law. So you're hearing, I forget, it was a J company or something. It was like a clothing company that announced that they had a cybersecurity. That was the one yesterday. That means these guys have to spend money on cybersecurity stuff. And that just means Palo Alto is going to go up. CrowdStrike's going to go up. Fortinet's going to go up. If we look at Fortinet, this is the one that was making much of money. They're going to cover this gap up to 75. I mean, they covered the first gap, and it's now just capitulating here. But they're going to cover this gap. If they're using the 200-day as resistance right now, that 50-day is moving negative. Once they get above 58, I think you could see this one easily go up to 74, 75. Remember, they're going to spend on cybersecurity. Large language models, I think it's Microsoft, Google, and Meta. And cloud, I think it's Amazon, Microsoft, and Google. Those are the ones that I want to show. Now, I did see there was a big buy on WBD, Warner Brothers Discovery, that I noticed in FinViz. I want to point out, this is a $250 million buy of WBD at $12.49, but look right under it. It was a sell. This is a tax situation. So these guys at Advanced Newhouse sold $250 million at $12.49. They bought it back at $12.49. So that's just a tax situation. But I do think this one could continue higher. Now, here's the thing. Target price is $15. These aren't like out of the realm things. You can look at Seaport at $19. You look at Bernstein at $19. I think that $19, you're at $11 right now. Now, understand that this chart, this has been going nuts right here. You're in at 1048. You're seeing the button hook. Would I get in here? I think if you believe that $19, it is expensive. Understand, this is not making money, but the price to sales is only 0.7. If these guys start bundling up with Apple, which is the rumor that they could do something with Apple, if these guys start bundling up with Paramount, if they start bundling up with anybody, I think it could go higher. Now, that's a 15% move in about 34 days right now. And you're seeing that turnover, your 50 days moving positive. I don't know that I'd wait too far for this one to actually bounce, because you've got gaps up there that it could fill, specifically this gap between 1291 and 1312. So I don't know that I'd wait for this one. I think it's a good recovery play. But WBD, I will include, there is a video, Larry Williams. He turned $10,000 into $1.1 million in just 12 months of trading. I will include this video. It's from Trading Lab. I'm a big fan of Trading Lab. I think they lay things out perfectly. The candlestick, or I'm sorry, the indicator that he used, there's a couple of things. He used LW volatility trading strategy, which is basically the Larry Williams volatility trading strategy that revolves around one indicator. It's the Donchian Channels indicator. You can get Donchian Channel indicator in TrendSpider, so I think you should get it. Let's look at some social requests. B. Malik asked me for SGA. I don't even know what SGA is. Let's see. This is Saga Communications. This looks like hype. I mean, it went straight up. Saga Communications. What's SGA? Let's see what they do. Market cap 147. They are making money. PE is 13. It is a broadcasting. So operates broadcasting company which engages in the acquisition, development, and operation of broadcast properties. The company was founded by Edward Christian. I don't see a lot. Their average target price is 27. You're trading at 24. Your 52-week high is 25. You're 4% below that. Broadcasting, I mean, I don't know much more about it, but broadcasting doesn't necessarily interest me. When's the last time you watched a broadcast from one of the major networks, or even, one of the local networks? I mean, for me, it's kind of put it in its realm here between 23 and 25, and you're trading at 24. So I think you had an opportunity down here at 19, but I'm not a huge fan. I mean, from what I just see it, broadcasting, it's okay. Moody asked me my takes on Rumble. Let me see what Rumble's symbol is. I think, RMBL. This is a competitor to YouTube. And we can go over here, FinViz, RMBL, the auto and truck dealerships, consumer cyclicals, Rumble On. Is it Rumble On that you want? I don't know. Let me see. Rumble. Maybe it's the RUM. Yeah, maybe it's RUM that you want. RUM. You didn't include the symbol. But I'd assume it's RUM because that Rumble On is a trucking company. But RUM, if this is the one that you want, I've had other creators that I know try Rumble because it's Rumble Inc. This is a competitor to YouTube, operates an online neutral video platform. That's what they got known for, is that, hey, they're not going to do, they got thrown in there because they thought that YouTube was becoming too liberal. And so this was supposedly a neutral, politically neutral. They're losing money. The video business of YouTube is an expensive business. I've had creators that have gone over to Rumble and haven't had the support. So they haven't had the viewership that they can make on YouTube. I haven't tried it. I don't see a pattern for them to make money. I see this one probably going into bankruptcy, to be honest. You got a 15% short float on this. Its 52-week range is between 433 and 1124, and you're trading at 511. The average target price is $6. Yeah, but there's only one person that covered it in 2022. I just don't see this one being worth anything. You can trade it, but I just don't, like I said, there have been, I wrote notes. I know several big creators who tried to make a go of it over there because, again, they were pissed off that YouTube was liberal. They didn't get any views. They came back to YouTube. It's a chicken and egg problem. They don't have either right now. They don't have chicken or the egg. You can trade it. Honest to God, you can trade it. Okay, let's go over scans. CRM. Do not own Rumble. That would be my guidance for you. Salesforce has a cross up. We had this cross up at 200. You're at 265 right now. It's got another leg, even though the RSI is at 74. This one, complete comeback under its 200-day. This is the all-time high at 305. I think you're probably getting up there. It is expensive. It is not a cheap stock. But they just mentioned AI. Their forward PE is 27. They're going to continue to run. It is up 100% this year. This is a huge company that is up 100% this year. The December 2022 lows, 2023 has been really good. It dipped. It got up here to about 230 in July, and it came back down to the 50-day. You're just getting a cross up on the MACD on the 4-hour. You're going to get a golden cross of the 50-day on the 200. You're coming back up here to the all-time highs. Honest to God, CRM. LNG. This is Cheniere Energy. Liquid natural gas. I've said, hey, own this one, buy it, start buying it around 160 when it was back here. We got another cross up at 174. Natural gas is going down in price, but this stock is not going down in price. The reason is natural gas is becoming cheaper. They have contracts where they basically buy the natural gas cheap here in the US, they ship it overseas, and they sell it for higher prices. So overseas, there's not seeing the reduction in the natural gas like we are. So these guys benefit from it, and then they're just going to continue to make money. Now, LNG actually gives out a pretty, not a huge dividend, 0.95. I think they were special dividends. But year to date, it's up 15%. The average target price is 202, and you're trading at 171. It's come back from a recent surge up to 180. I think it's a solid play. If you want to own it, I'd rather you own it in the 160s. I think it does come back down there. But 174 is where the algorithm gets you in. NXE, this is Next Gen Energy. This one is a rebound. It's got a cross up here. You're at 614 back on November 10th, and you're at 686. It's just been a steady climb. You can see the MACD's just kind of crossing up again. The RSI is at 56. This one is more of a rebound. When you look at the weekly, it's kind of just rebounded and it's continued its run. So it's got a second leg up. NXE. The short ARK, the SARK, this is short the ARKK. And this one has just been beaten down. You've got another cross up here at $30.09. It's trading at $29.45. I would not take this trade on short ARK just because the algorithm told you have to wait for confirmation and you have to wait for something. This is too strong of a rally to try and time something like this. Procter & Gamble cross up here. This one has been beaten down a little bit. It's under its 200-day. Just can't get the right setting. Doesn't quite have the confirmation that I'd like. It's just a little bumpy here. But you can see the MACD is down here. The RSI is at 46. If you like Procter & Gamble, then take it. I'm not a huge fan. I think I do own this one. It's just kind of going to hang around this 200-day. I mean, I don't see it coming any too far. XEL. This is another energy company, Xcel Energy. This one's a rebound play, and you can see the $60 here. You're only at 62, but you do have a golden cross here of the 50-day over the 200, and this is on the 4-hour. The MACD is running a little bit high, but it is crossing up. The RSI is at 56, so you're a little bit oversold. But when I looked at the weekly, it's under its 200-day. Your 50-day is still moving negative. I think if you cross this 63, if you hold 63 at some point, I think that's where you could get into this one to play it up to 67, 68, somewhere around there. That 50-day has to start moving positive. You've gotten the button hook on the 9-day. You've gotten the button hook on the 21-day. That 50-day for me has to turn a little bit positive. If we go over here and we look at the XEL, in FinViz, you can see it's for a energy utility company. That's a high PE. So that's why it's coming down. That's why I say wait for it a little bit. It's 52-week range or just 50. You're right in the middle between 53 and 72. Gives off a great dividend of 3.35%. So again, October was its last upgrade. They say it's worth $66 and it's trading at 62. So there you go. That's the podcast. Here is the this is the link tree. If you want anything, I'd say get the TrendSpider and get Seeking Alpha. Seeking Alpha, if you haven't seen it, I love Seeking Alpha. You can go over here in the news and you can get the top 4 stocks of the day. You can see the trending news, AMD, what to expect. You get most of this stuff for free. If you use my link, you get a $50 coupon off their premium package. In their premium package, I haven't found anything that I can't get in the premium package, to be honest with you. I get to import my portfolio. Here's the core portfolio. I have set up a trading portfolio as well. What you can do in here too is set up a watch list. You can even set up just a watch of which stocks you're actually looking at and see their 52-week range. So you can see here, PayPal. This is why they say it's a good opportunity, because look at the 52-week range. You see my other trades, they're up at the high 52-week. If you look at the core portfolio, you can see Devon Energy down here, Disney down here. You can see Bank of America all the way up to 37. You can see Occidental down here, Pepsi down here, Palantir. It's not even close to its 52-week high. So, again, look at some of these names in these sliders. There's opportunities there, and that's how I use Seeking Alpha. There's so much. You can set price alerts. You can say, hey, Gary says that Apple is a buy in the 170s. I'm going to set a price alert for 179 when it hits 179. Amazon, it's a buy at 130. I'm going to set a price alert. You can do all of that in Seeking Alpha. So the premium version is worth it. I would say at the very least, click on this link and then go over and just sign up for a free account over at Seeking Alpha. Visible if you're paying anything more than $25 a month for your phone service. Click on there. One thing, the perfect complement to this podcast is the newsletter. You're crazy if you don't get the newsletter and you just listen, because there's charts. I include a lot of things in this newsletter, even stuff that I don't even show on the podcast. So if you're in the middle of learning, I'd say do this. I do a paid one on the weekends. And I get, it's basically my journey, my thoughts on things, and more educational stuff just about it. Like I included, Nike earnings, and I included FedEx and stuff like that, and just my thoughts and how to play them this weekend. But if you're interested in that, do it. Remember, it's the time of year to give. If you listen to me and you've made money, be nice. Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. My preferred is Venmo or Cash App. PayPal charges me a little bit, so I don't like them too much. But yeah, anything it's on the link tree. You can join us on a private Facebook group. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, anything that you want. Okay, sorry it's been a long podcast, but there was a lot to go over. Okay,
Every
take care.
morning
Bye.
I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now.